My name is Emilio Frazzoli. I am a professor of aeronautics and astronautics at MIT. I recently started a company called nuTonomy with my colleague Karl Niemme, who is also a research scientist at MIT. The company really started 2 years ago as an outgrowth of our consulting business. And we have been working with a number of automotive OEMs and Tier 1 suppliers to essentially transition our work and our expertise on autonomous vehicles to the market. For most of my career, I worked on unmanned aerial vehicles. Nowadays, most people call them drones. This is a very popular research area. I've been doing that for about 10 years. Then about 10 years ago, when there was the time of the DARPA Urban Challenge, there was a robotic competition for self-driving cars, for autonomous cars. And I started taking an interest in that field and applying a lot of the techniques that I had learned and developed over the years and applied to the aircraft case. I found the automotive domain actually very interesting, especially because after a few years that I was working on that, primarily on the technology development, I took a step back and started thinking about what is the potential impact of this technology? How will this technology change the world? And if you think carefully about it, the answer is actually quite surprising, in the sense that I really think that this technology has a big potential for a very profound impact on our lives. Essentially, there are a number of reasons why autonomous cars are being developed by many players in the industry now. This is a very common topic, and you read about autonomous cars almost every day in the news. Typically, the arguments that people make are about increasing safety so as we all know, most of traffic accidents are actually due to human errors. You remove the humans, you remove the errors. At least this is the idea. Then is the increasing convenience, so that if the car is driving, I can text to my hard content legally. Things like increasing efficiency in a city, of traffic in a city, reducing congestion, reducing environmental impacts. These are all great things. However, all of these features will not change the way that we think of cars and the way that we approach personal mobility. I think that the killer app for autonomous vehicles is enabling car sharing. Car sharing at the level of convenience that is essentially the same as owning your private car, but the sustainability of public transportation. Most of us who own a car, we use, these cars cost a big chunk of our disposable income, and yet they sit somewhere 95% of the time. And usually this somewhere is a pretty expensive piece of real estate. So we actually pay for the privilege of not using the car that costs us so much money. So clearly this is not a sustainable model, especially if you think of a situation where you have a car that is actually able to drive itself. If the car is able to drive itself, why leave it parked in the garage? Let it go pick up somebody else, drive somebody else, about their business, or go back home, take your children to school, or take your wife to her job, or or anything that you can imagine. But also you can think of a car that you're actually sharing as a transportation infrastructure that everybody can use.